Tim Walz. Governor Tim Walz. Minnesota has to come first always. Today, I'm proud of the work we've done to make Minnesota the best place to live and raise kids. That's objectively false. I've decided to step out of the race and let others worry about the election while I focus on the work. So here's what he had to say. Happy New Year, Minnesota. Like many Minnesotans, I was glad to turn the page on 2025. This is an extraordinarily difficult year for our state, and it ended on a particularly sour note. For the last several years, an organized group of criminals have sought to take advantage of our state's generosity. And even as we make progress in the fight against the fraudsters, we now see an organized group of political actors seeking to take advantage of the crisis. Tim Walz, we all knew you abetted. You literally allowed the fraud to happen. You knew it was happening and you allowed it to happen. You actually probably abetted and helped with the fraud, all right? I won't mince words here. Donald Trump and his allies in Washington and St. Paul online want to make our state a colder, meaner place. I mean, you can't really get any colder. Minnesota is freaking cold right now. But yeah, I mean, what are you talking? It's just, dude, it is all this stupid gaslighting. They're trying to make our state a colder, meaner place. Dude, so billions of fraud under your nose. You actually allowed it. You know how awful this is? You're stealing tax money. You're stealing money from taxpayers in Minnesota. You're stealing money from Minnesotans, and you're funneling it to foreigners. And you call that, when we call that out, they accuse us of being, you're trying to make Minnesota a cold and mean place. Oh, give me a break. They want to poison our people against each other by attacking our neighbors. Oh my gosh, that's what they see. They see foreigners as their neighbors. The entire nation of Somalia as their neighbor, apparently. And ultimately, they want to take away much of what makes Minnesota the best place in America to raise a family. They've already begun by taking their tax dollars that are meant to help families afford childcare, and they have no intention of stopping there. Yeah, well, maybe if you didn't funnel all those childcare payment money, all of that to Somalians so that they can funnel it to terrorist organizations back in Somalia, but also to enrich all these Somalians so they can live in mansions in Minnesota, yeah, maybe we wouldn't have to stop it. Make no mistake, we should be concerned about fraud in our state government. We cannot effectively deliver programs and services if we can't earn the public's trust. That's why over the past few years, we've made systemic changes to the way we do business. Yeah, you made a lot of changes. You made it easier for Somalians to commit fraud. We've gone to the legislature time and again to get more tools to combat fraud. We fired people who are doing their jobs. You fired people who are exposing their fraud. So don't even lie. We've seen people go to jail for stealing from our state. No, you didn't. No, where? We've cut off whole streams of funding in partnership with the federal government where we saw widespread criminal activity. They put new locks on the doors of our remaining programs. We've hired a new head of program integrity to make sure those locks can't be broken. Oh my gosh, this is so long, dude. Across the state, Minnesotans are hard at work on this program. Yeah, and they're just blame the Republicans. We've got the president of the United States demonizing our Somali neighbors and wrongly confiscating child care funding that Minnesotans rely on. It is disgusting and it is dangerous. Republicans are playing politics with the future of our state. I'm just so tired of that whole line. They're playing politics. But when you politic, oh, that's not politics. That's just human rights. That's just decency. Like, shut up, dude. The gaslighting. It's so annoying. I believe servant leadership demands of me are just such a bull crap. Yeah, I mean, nothing much. Tim Walz is he probably ran it through ChatGPT and made ChatGPT write it and just put it on a fancy graphic. So anyways, Nick Shirley ended you. Right? Nick Shirley, in response, you should have put Minnesota first when you had the chance. Instead, you let billions of dollars of fraud happen across your state. Anyways, I hear Quality Leering Center is hiring. It was so funny how Nick Shirley, a YouTuber, completely destroyed and ended a governor of an American state. I think that's wild. Like, the power that YouTubers and social media people have in our current modern day society is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, I missed it. But right here, look, we've got conspiracy theorists, right-wing YouTubers breaking into daycare centers and demanding access to our children. It's so funny. Like, Nick Shirley has gotten under the skin of Tim Walz so much. So funny that major American politicians are now having to bend the knee to YouTubers. And YouTubers are living rent-free in the minds of American politicians, of American bureaucrats, governors, even people in the White House. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Yes, absolutely. Liberals are more pissed that Nick Shirley is investigating rather than all the red flags. And that's what liberals are always pissed about, right? They're pissed about the investigations. Why are you investigating Somalis? That's racist. They're more mad about that than the actual fraud happening. They're more mad about people saying mean words, right? You see this all the time. How dare you say the N-word? They're more mad about that than a poor white woman or poor white girl being pummeled to death, near death, by a gang of black teens. They're more mad about saying a naughty word than being stabbed to death. And their morality is completely backwards. This is why we shouldn't trust, we shouldn't even care about what liberals have to say. Don't take any moral cues from liberals. That one of the biggest exposés against immigrant fraud in this country came out the past few weeks, and people have been investigating into these daycare centers and how they've been exploiting and, embezzling child care money, tax money, welfare funds in order to enrich themselves. It's all coming out, recorded, with records, with verifiable proof. And liberals, their main concern, right, is why are you making videos? Why are you talking about this? It is so crazy. It's like, don't listen to liberals. And see here, we've got conspiracy theorists, right-wing YouTubers breaking into daycare centers and demanding access to our children. That would maybe be a good point if there were children at these daycare centers. There aren't children at these daycare centers, which is what makes it fraudulent. Herpaderps. That's the whole point. Investigative journalists are going to these Somali daycare centers, to these immigrant daycare centers, and asking, where are the children? There are no children. And then when they ask, hey, can my little Joey stay here? They're like, nope. Like, you make more money if you have children in your daycare. Why would you turn away children? Because they are not actually daycare centers. They are fraud scam centers, okay? They're scam centers for Somalis to enrich themselves. That's the whole point. No one's demanding access to your children. There are no children in these daycare centers to ask access to, okay? It is so unbelievably stupid. It is so crazy. It is so crazy. So, yeah, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Because they're retarded. Yeah, they're retarded. They're actually retarded. But it's not even that they're retarded. I think the useful idiots, the liberals, are retarded. It's that people like Tim Walz, is that Democrat politicians, is that liberal pundits, they know exactly what they're doing when they're lying to you straight in the face, when they're manipulating you and gaslighting you. They know exactly what they're doing. And that's what makes them even more evil. We've got conspiracy theorists, right-wing YouTubers breaking into daycare centers and demanding access to our children. No one's demanding access to your children because there's no children in these daycare centers. There are no children in these daycare centers we can even demand access to. That's the whole point. Where are the children? That's what makes it fraudulent, you freaking derpos. So you had idiots like Hassan Piker saying, oh, like, don't you think it's weird that these right-wing YouTubers are like harassing children? It's like, there are no children in these daycare centers, you idiot. You absolute retard. Hassan Piker is a retard. An absolute retard. But he knows what he's doing. Okay? He knows exactly what he's doing. He's lying and gaslighting to his idiot base. Okay? The useful idiots who love him and follow him. That's what he's doing. And they're getting away with it. They're getting away with it. So, Tim Walz dropped out. Tim Walz is done. His political career over. Nada. Now all we need to do is send him to prison. Get this guy locked up in prison. He needs to stand trial. And if the Trump administration does nothing about it, if they don't indict Tim Walz, if they do nothing about it, they sit on their hands, this will be one of the greatest failures of the Trump administration. There's no reason why you can't go in. There's no reason why you can't go in. Lock this guy up. Arrest him. Arrest him. And then try him for fraud. There's no reason why you can't do it. It's wild when leftists know what they're doing by accusing us of what they really are, like fascists. Yeah, I mean, they are, every single accusation is projection. It's actually an admission of guilt from leftists because they do exactly what they accuse us of doing. Yep, good riddance. Carl Benjamin, maybe setting up foreign ethnic patronage network with taxpayer money was a mistake. Very true. He's a traitor. He's a traitor. He's a traitor. Like, he literally funneled money to foreigners. Okay? Like, foreign nationals who then took that money and funneled it back home to fund terrorist organizations. This is all documented. That is, by definition, treason. You can try him for treason. It's just a matter of if the Trump administration is willing to do that. They are strong and hawkish overseas. In Iran, in Venezuela, that's good. That's fine. Do your thing. But then don't be like, what do you mean? We're taking action. When the Trump base is asking you to take action on our own soil, to help the American people who are being defrauded, who are being stolen from, take action to help the American people, because that's what we elected you to do. And we don't like vigilantism. We don't like vigilantism. We don't like anarchy. We don't like violence on the streets. This is what the civil magistrate exists for, to enact justice, to have order in society, and to arrest, deport, denaturalize all the foreign invaders in America. That's what we need. So Trump, DOJ, Pam Bondi, Christine Noem, do something, please. FBI, Kash Patel. Dan Bongino just left, but just do something, guys. I mean, it's not, you can just do things. Who's going to stop you? You're the freaking United States government. Who is going to stop you? Seriously, who is going to stop you? No one's going to stop you. No one's going to stop you. All right, so Tim Walz, goodbye.